So I want to talk to you a little bit about informal fashion shows. Now, this is a little bit more relaxed, but again, not a fashion show that you want to discount from your modeling career by any stretch. Lots of stores local to your market will have their own informal fashion shows. So basically what this will mean is you'll have a couple of models, maybe 2 or 3. Sometimes there can be even as many as 10. It just really depends. And a lot of times the stores will have sort of a luncheon, and they'll invite their most high-paying customers, I guess you could say. Those ladies who lunch, who want to see what the current or the new season is bringing as far as luxury designer brands. So this can also be considered sort of a trunk show, because a lot of times it will be specific to one particular brand. Now what they'll do is they'll have this lovely luncheon that's hosted, and or sometimes it's not even a luncheon. Sometimes it's just ladies sitting, in a nice little setup, and you're going to be in the dressing room, and you'll have a few different outfits, and you just casually come out and you walk around amongst the ladies while the host speaks. They'll speak to your outfit, and you'll walk from lady to lady. And they'll want to touch the clothing. They'll want to feel the clothing. They'll want you to spin and turn and kind of show them a few different things, a few different features. It's very one-on-one. It's very hands-on. You're going to be very interactive in these kinds of shows. It's very different from those high fashion runway shows where you're just up and down that runway and you're feeding off that audience and there's the lights and the music. You're not going to have that in these informal shows. Now these shows can pay very well, so you never want to look your nose down at these kinds of informal fashion shows. It might not be as glamorous as the idea of these high fashion runway shows, but they can be very lucrative and they can be very rewarding, because at the end of the day, you are wearing beautiful luxury brand clothing. Who doesn't want that? And you're getting paid to do so. And most of the time your clothes will fit, and you actually will have a better selection of shoes because you're in store. When you're in store, the world's your oyster. They have everything right there that they can grab for you. Whereas a lot of times when you're elsewhere, you're just gonna have to make do with what they have. Again, these in-store appearances, these trunk shows, these informal fashion shows can be a much more relaxed setting, there's a lot less stress involved with these. It doesn't mean that there isn't a quick turnaround with changes, because there can still be a very quick turnaround and you not necessarily have the help that you need in order to get changed. But that's going to be something else that we're going to touch on, is being prepared for these shows and having everything that you need at your fingertips so that you're not struggling last minute while you're in the middle of a show and not able to do anything in order to help yourself out. Another thing that is fairly typical with informal fashion shows is showing up hair and makeup ready. And that's something that you're going to need to learn to do, is your own hair and makeup. And I cannot stress the importance of this enough, because a lot of times when you get your booking, it will let you know you need to be hair and makeup ready. So for you, that's going to be something that you're going to have to figure what's the best look for you as far as that goes, and we're going to talk about that later on in the course, is how to do a basic face, how to do basic hair, so that you're not caught on the spot going, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do my makeup for this, I don't know how to do my hair for this, because a lot of people don't. A lot of models don't know how to do their own hair and makeup, and that was something I learned very early on. It's so important. And also, I'm on TV every week. I have to be able to do my own hair and makeup. I cannot stress the importance of that enough. So I just want you to be sure that you're prepared for that, because you're not always going to have hair and makeup. You're not going to always have these things there for you that you might think, oh, it's a fashion show. Well, of course they're gonna have this, they're gonna have that. They're not necessarily going to have that at all, and it's going to be your responsibility, and you're going to want to be as professional about it as possible and know exactly what it is that you need to have done. So another aspect of modeling is promotional work. Now this could be anywhere from a convention to an in-store appearance. Now I actually am a product specialist for a car company, and doing this I travel the country basically talking about their vehicles at conventions, at car shows. And this can be any kind of brand hiring any kind of model to travel, not necessarily to travel, but to go to their conventions and talk about their product. So with this, you're going to need to speak, essentially. And a lot of you are thinking, well, gosh, I don't know that I could do that. But that is absolutely another aspect of modeling, because you have to look good and know your product and sell a product right there on the spot. And now, it's not for everybody. It is a bit of a niche when it comes to modeling, but again, it can be very lucrative. So you're going to get your day rate, and you're going to maybe even get some travel, which can be really exciting. I know for me, I've traveled the country. Like I said, I've spent time in cities that normally I never would have been able to go to. You have your downtime. It can be a really fun job. You meet a lot of interesting people, but at the end of the day, again, like I said, you are hired to sell a product. So say you get hired to go to work at a convention, and you're working for a home show, and you got hired to work for a bank, and you are there to promote their, I don't know, some kind of deal that they're having on a mortgage. So you're there to smile, to wear your outfit that they've asked you to wear, to reach out to customers and say, hey, so guess what? We have this promotion going on. Here's some information. And let me tell you a little bit about it, because, I mean, let's face it, you don't work, you're not a banker. You're not going to know every little thing about it, but you are going to know enough to just touch base to reach that consumer and to be able to draw them in to your product that you have been hired essentially to sell. So again, another aspect of modeling that a lot of people don't think about: doing the promotions, doing the product specialist. You could be in store. You could have to go and hang out in a department store and talk about a specific product. Okay, well, I've been hired to sell such and such, so I'm going to know as much as I can about this product that they've asked me to know, and then I'm going to reach out to consumers right here in store and say, hey, let me tell you a little bit about this product. Let me see if I can do a little demonstration. Again, it's not for everybody. It's very interactive, which can be a little scary. But again, incredibly lucrative. So if you feel like you want to make that transition from maybe modeling to hosting, which is another great thing for a model, then this is a great way to go, because it gives you a little bit of that taste of talking, that taste of interaction. And these things really all go hand in hand, and that's something else that you can't forget when you're looking into becoming a model, into being a model. All these different aspects, all the different scenarios that go into this one big business. There's so many little things that you can grab onto and say, gosh, you know what, that's really my thing. I like reaching out to people. Maybe I'm not into the editorials. Maybe I'm not into having my picture taken, but I'm really interested in selling products. I'm really interested in reaching out to people. This is a great opportunity that you don't want to forget about. Now, this, again, also requires a little bit of product knowledge. So you're going to have that either, sometimes they'll give you a script. So you're going to have that memorization. You're going to have to, learn maybe some ingredients. You're going to have to learn about how a certain thing works that you're not necessarily knowledgeable about to begin with. But that's okay. It's okay. It's all about the interaction. It's all about selling. It's all about creating that rapport with your audience, that rapport with your customer that you don't get when you're in a print shoot. You don't get to interact with the people that you're selling to. Even from a runway standpoint, you're not really interacting. You are just there as almost a form of entertainment. This is like a one-on-one. You're in it, you're getting gritty with your consumer, and you're really able to showcase yourself and your personality and winning that consumer over.